and we are going to hit this live. I'm kind of excited about this conversation because my hope is that it opens up some real talk, some real conversations with women in our belief system, our ideas that um, that we have when it comes to what is a strong woman. So, um, of course, my beliefs are my beliefs, and your beliefs are your beliefs, and you have every right to believe what you want to believe, just as I have every right to believe what I want to believe. And so, hold on, I'm still getting this together. So, we are going to get started here in a minute. I'm just trying to share. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast, Business, and Branding. And I am so excited for today's discussion, as I said before, just because I really want this to open up your mind, open up conversation about the idea around what is a strong woman. Okay, so the reason this topic kind of came up is because I saw this quote right here on Instagram. You can't see it, but I'm going to read it. So it says, be a strong woman so your daughter will have a role model and your son will know what to look for in a woman when he's a man. And so obviously, it's a true statement. Like that's a real thing. And so I think about that all the time when it comes to my boys. Like, what am I showing them? And what am I, what is my example to them? Even though they're boys, I still give them something. So um, I sat back and I thought about, well, what is a strong woman? And I had to kind of go back to what I believed a strong woman was from when I was a young girl. So if I had to go back to that and think about, what I saw growing up, a lot of the women, and actually in doing my family history also, this has been passed on from generations. And a lot of the women in my family were, I'll use the word strong women because they had to be. It was a position they were put into because of the lack of support that they had um, in the family unit. And so a lot of the women were strong in the sense of they had to do everything for the family to make sure the family stayed afloat. So that's the first thing that I saw. That's what I saw growing up that was emulated to me. The next thing was being in a family with five other brothers and sisters. I'm the middle child. And so my mindset was always, what can I do to help? And so with that being said, I had my oldest brother was sick. And so my mother had to put her attention there. And so I was kind of forced to kind of take care of myself in a sense of making sure that my grades are okay, making sure that I stay organized, making sure that I had to do all these other things. And so by doing that, I had to kind of build this barrier around myself, which would cause me to, what others would say, be strong, because I learned how to block out the things that hurt me. I learned how to suppress my true feelings. I learned um, how to hide the things that bothered me so that it didn't offend someone else. And so, with that being done, a lot of people, whenever things came up, situations came up, whenever I would go through a trial or what others would consider a hard time, I would always like surpass or appear to be okay. And so I got the title, I'm the strong one. So, with that being said, I had to, as an adult, redefine what it really meant to be strong, because I couldn't show my boys that it's that being strong is hiding who you are, that being strong is suppressing your feelings, your thoughts, and your ideas, or what you truly believe, in order not to hurt other people's feelings. I had to show them what being strong was. So in order to do that, I of course had to go through a process of different things to actually be a strong woman. Now, let me say this. What I'm not saying is that it's wrong to have to be in a place where you do have to um, put barriers around yourself. That's not what I'm saying. Every part of your life has a season for everything. But what you don't want to do is live your life in a defensive mode. That's what you don't want to do, because then you're not going to be vulnerable, and you're not going to be open to good things that can happen, or that can come to you. You're not going to be able to hear um, things that you need to hear in order to get where you need to go, or reach new levels. So there's a time and a season to have yourself in a barrier, and there's a time and a season to allow yourself to truly be vulnerable to what to your surroundings and to the people you have in your life. um, and so I created this list of what I believe a strong woman is. And so the first thing is, a strong woman is self aware. A strong woman knows herself inside and out. A strong woman can tell you, you know what, that's not going to be good for me just because I don't like kids. Like, a lot of people have heard me say that. Like, not to say that I don't like kids, but I'm not as, a lot of people say I'm patient, but um, yeah, okay, so I'll just leave it there. So, the next thing I put is, a strong woman owns who she is without apology. I am who I am. I'm not, and that's without, like, a lot of people say that statement with being that way. What I'm saying is, you get what you get. If I show up, this is me at home, this is me in public, this is who I am, and I don't apologize for it. I will respect you. I will treat you how I would want to be treated, and that's how I move. Okay, so a strong woman owns who she is without apology. A strong woman speaks her mind in love. Now, this is a big one, because we all can speak our mind. We all can. We all are thinking things on a constant basis, and so there's a scripture that says there are some things, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, but there are some things that are, even though we can do everything, some things are not good for us to do. And so there are some times where you want to say something, but it's like you don't necessarily know how to say it so that it doesn't hurt the person's feelings. And so you'll go to God and you'll say, okay, so I can see that this person needs to hear this, but how do I say it to them? Okay, so speaking your mind in love. All right. And so another thing is, a strong woman has a pure heart. Every morning I get up, I say, God, give me your eyes so I can see your people how you see your people. Give me your heart so I can love the people the way you love your people, the way you love your people. Give me your hands, or give me instruction so I can use my hands what to do what you would have me do, and give me your mind so I can think the way you think. And so I wake up preparing my heart in order to deal with people, and also in order to stay pure and true. Okay, that's very important. A strong woman is vulnerable. Now, that one is a tough one. Not the toughest one on this list, but it is a tough one. Being vulnerable, because so many times we've been hurt by people. So many times, like, we somehow end up in the same situations, and it can be painful to deal with that. So we begin to kind of cover our scars. We begin to not, what do I want to say? we just begin to just like I said before, put barriers up. But like I said, there's a season, just like there's a season for barriers, there's a season to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable in order to build relationships, in order to be successful, in order to hear truth. You have to be vulnerable. Okay. A strong woman forgives. You have to be able to forgive. That, first of all, that's a key to life. You have to be able to forgive, because if you don't forgive, God won't forgive you. That is point blank period. A strong woman forgives. They don't hold on to what somebody did to them. They say, you know what, that hurt, but I see you, and I'm not going to forget what you did, but I'm also not going to hang on to what you did, and I'm not going to allow it to ruin my life. So I'm going to forgive you and keep it pushing. And we're going to leave it at that. Boom. Okay. So the next thing is a strong woman has self-discipline. How many of us, like, okay, so my thing is I do love to like go to the store and just like buy things, and I've gotten a lot better at this. But because the money is there, and because my husband has allowed me to be secure enough in our finances to um, take, just shop how I want to shop, because that's there. A lot of times, okay, even though I can do it, is it right to do it at this time? And so I've had to have self-discipline in order to continue to have consistency in our life and our finances. I've had to even with raising our children, there are some things as parents where it's like, I don't feel like getting up today. I don't feel like teaching y'all today, but I got to do it. I have to do it because it's needed. Okay. And so another thing is, a strong woman uses her gifts with wisdom and not for the benefit of herself. And so everybody is gifted. God has anointed everybody with something. And so one of the things is, first of all, with wisdom, knowing how to operate in it, knowing how to use it for the glory of God, knowing how to, um, uh, again, not use it for your benefit, for you gaining something from it. So really understanding your gift and understanding how you can use it to help other people. Okay. And so this one right here, a strong woman does not allow her imperfections to stop them. I remember I put a post up like a while ago, and the pretty much the post was just saying, I remember at one time, like, I wasn't the best speaking, and I'm still not the best speaking person. And I didn't believe that I could do this or that or whatever. And I allowed it to stop me. And I stopped because I continued to flood my mind with my imperfections. So when I decided not to do that, I said, you know what? It doesn't matter with this issue. I'm going to push forward, and whoever this message is for, they're going to get this message. They're going to get whatever I have they're going to get whatever I have, no matter what this imperfection is. You know, I know someone who stutters, and they when we talk, they would talk with the best message. Like, I would be like, oh my God, like, oh, that is so good. And I'm like, you need to tell everybody. But they stopped because they felt like people would judge them off of their speech. And I said, yeah, they will. But guess what? Those aren't the people your message are for. The people your message is for are going to be the people who actually receive it. You cannot stop just because people are going to judge you for how you look, for how you talk, for how you do this or do that. You have to just keep moving, because the mission is more important than what other people are going to say. They're irrelevant. They're pretty much irrelevant. Now, here's the one. A strong woman forgives herself. A strong woman forgives herself. Like, take a deep breath. A strong woman forgives herself. How many times have you blamed yourself for how, you know what, here is, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but true story. So my son, my youngest son, born born less than a pound, born less than I had to stay in the hospital, developmentally delayed, has special needs, all of that. And so as a mother, you wonder, what part did I play in that? How could I have changed this? How could I have done this better? How could I have, did that better? Did I eat something? You start questioning all this stuff. And regardless if it's factual, not factual, true, not true, you still take it on. And so because you have offended yourself, because you have decided to take that on, that's the part you have to forgive, whether it's true or not. You have to be able to forgive and say, you know what? It's here. It happened. Listen, I'm just going to say, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for how this turned out. Now, I'm not saying, I understand that when it comes to medical things, sometimes you have nothing to do with it. It's just how it turns out. But it's because I took it on that I'm forgiving myself. And so even with people with older children, your children may decide to do things that you didn't raise them to do. You have nothing to do with it, but yet you still blame yourself for how they came out. And so you have to forgive yourself for it. You have to be able to forgive yourself. Even if you did something intentionally a long time ago where you knew that whatever you were doing was going to hurt or offend the other person, and now it's coming back and it's eating at you, you have to forgive yourself. That's it. And so that's what I have to say. What's that, 17 minutes? I didn't say, well, I'm not having anything for breakfast. But my name is Alicia Richardson with AR Idea Factory. And to me, that is what a strong woman is. A strong woman is self-aware. She's caring. She's loving. A strong woman knows how to forgive, to be vulnerable, she knows how to do things that allows her to grow, but also allows her to help other people grow with keeping balance. Um, so that's all I have for you today. This has been awesome and great. I hope to see you next Tuesday for another Breakfast Business and Branding. Have a wonderful day.